Today's Mercedes-Benz interview of the day brought to you by Mercedes-Benz EV. Owning a Mercedes-Benz EV, not just extraordinary, it's extra easy. The vehicle's all electric, the feeling all Mercedes, the choice all yours. Learn more, mbusa.com/EQ. Known him for a long time. I just called him Doug. Now I got to call him Coach. Coach Gottlieb, new Wisconsin Green Bay head basketball coach. Oh, look at you. It looks like it's picture day for you. Congratulations, Doug.
Thanks, Dan.
How long you been working on this?
The backstory is that I was a finalist for the job last year, and Sundance Wicks ended up being the choice. He did a great job. He's National Coach of the Year, Rising League Coach of the Year, and he got the Wyoming job. But I didn't really work on it. It was just more the athletic director, Josh Moon, and I, struck up a legit friendship and relationship. And when Sonny left to take the Wyoming job in his home state, he called me and said, "Are you still interested?" And I said, hell yeah. Last year, the timing was a little wonky. My daughters were seniors in high school. So outside of going to take some pictures for my daughter's prom on Saturday back in California, they're out of the house. And so I think the timing is actually a lot better. But the job is maybe a little bit more difficult because now I'm following a guy who did a great job in winning 18 games last season.
How much of this is I want to do this? How much of this is I need to do this?
Ooh. Man, you're good. I copied your interviewing style for a reason, but that was a good one. I don't have that one in the bag. Probably a little bit of both. But honestly, look, there's the ego part to it that I want to prove myself, right? I want to prove that all the talking into a headset, all the talking in the headset, all the AAU or the, adult things that I've done in coaching TBT or coaching overseas, like this is legit. It works in college. But in all honesty, like my best friends in the world are my teammates at Notre Dame, my teammates at Oklahoma State. Like I'm on a group chat with those guys. I will lay down on train tracks for them. We got 20 on one group text and we got like 15 on another. And I would do anything for those guys. I told them all, if they want to come up here and get a job, whether it's in the office or out of the office, I'll do it for them. And that's the experience I want for the kids to come here and play for me. They don't have to love me. I like them to respect me, but I want them to love each other and love their school and just have a great experience. Whether you're here for 1 year or 5 years, I don't care. I want it to be the best basketball experience of your life because you work so hard to get to this level. And, you just don't want when you're 35 to sit there and go like, what was it like to Green Bay? Like, it was okay. We played. No. You ask me about playing Oklahoma State, I'll say it was the best, like literally the best 3 years of my existence as a human being. And I want to be their best existence as a human being, but also as a basketball player. I want to get the best out of them by coaching them the way I want to be coached.
I'll go a little deeper. Your dad was a basketball coach. How much of this is about what your dad did?
Look, it's the family business. I don't know if you know this, but my dad's last head coaching job was at our arch rival, UW Milwaukee. I was born in Wisconsin. I was Whitefish Bay, Columbia Hospital. So yeah, there's a legacy element to it as well. And I'm sure that when I talk to people today, in this moment, I'm thinking, God, he's smiling in heaven right now. So I think there's part of that, but I'm not trying to live the life that my dad would want me to live by no means. Like he never wanted me to leave ESPN, Dan. He didn't. He thought it was crazy, because he said, ESPN's got, I watch every night. You can't go leave for somewhere else that I don't watch. But you know what? When I went to CBS, he watched and he listened. When I went to Fox, he watched and he listened. And so it's not all about him. I can't live my life that way. But I can tell you that, you get to this age and you just say to yourself, like, what am I doing here? I'm creeping up on 50 and I love basketball. I love young men. I love working at the idea of working at a university. And I want to build something special. I want to build not a legacy for me, but a legacy for them. I want them to experience what I experienced. And these jobs are hard to get, man. They're really, really hard to get. My brother's been in the business for 28 years. He's really, really good, really good. He hasn't gotten a head job yet. So I respect how hard it is to get this. I'm going to do everything I can to make it successful. And most importantly, I want these kids to have just the best basketball experience of their life, the best college experience of their life. And I want this community, they'll embrace them and build something really cool where people say like, man, Green Bay, yeah, you got the Packers and then you got the Phoenix and you don't want to go play there. That's a snake pit. You're going to take an L.
He's Doug Gottlieb, the new Wisconsin Green Bay head coach, also going to do his national radio show at Fox Sports. How do you commit to coaching? How do you commit to doing your national radio show? On the same day, same time?
Well, I mean, like, listen, you've done your radio show and you've done TV shows in the same day, right? I mean, you know how hard that was when you did Sports Center and you used to pop from one to the next, you know, go and write your script. And it's challenging.
Yeah, but these are two different disciplines here. You could be coaching in the afternoon and doing your radio show in the afternoon.
No, I'm the head coach. I get to set the schedule.
Okay.
Right? Like, what time's practice? Coach. Yeah, I get to. So as an assistant coach, I think it would be harder. I think it would be more difficult. But you'd have to have a really understanding head coach. But as a head coach, like, you set aside time. And the great thing about you know, our Chancellor Michael Alexander allowing me to do both is that it allows me to take less money financially and not take a huge hit, and then hire a staff that already knows what I don't know. And then they can remember Crimson Tide, like, who's got the con? Like, I'll give somebody else the con. So I wake up really early thinking about things to talk about. And I've already hired somebody who's assigned to me. Hey, man, you tell me where I need to be, when I need to be there. And then you just need to prioritize your time. But the truth is, Dan, you know, in the last couple of years, I've worked for Fox Sports Radio, and Fox Sports 1. Right. I did a streaming show for Stadium. I had an AAU program in Southern California called Branch West. That's our legacy program. And I also work for Westwood One, for Compass Media. I mean, you name it, I've done it. So now I only have 2 jobs. I went from being, remember the Jamaicans on In Living Color? You know, I got 6 jobs. I'm the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker. Like, now I only have 2 jobs. So
are there things you can't say on the air? Are there things that you can't?
Yeah, but there's the same things I can't say on the air anyway.
No, but you can't talk about, you know, recruits. I mean, there's certain things you
can't. Are we going to, like, how many times in the history of a Fox Sports radio show has anyone talked about recruits for Green Bay?
No, recruits in general.
I like, do we talk about college basketball at that granular level?
Well, you might.
No, I don't. Because I like, we talk about what the most people want to listen about. Right?
But like Cooper Flagg,
so today,
Cooper Flagg's the number one player.
Show.
Cooper Flagg's the number one player going to Duke. Would you have been able to talk about Cooper Flagg on your radio show before he committed to Duke, or going forward? Are you allowed to do? I mean, these are just thoughts that I had when you're going to try to do both. Do you even know what you're allowed to and not allowed to talk about on your show?
I'm not allowed to talk about recruitable student athletes that I want to recruit. Can't talk about. Okay. I can tell you right now, I'm not getting Cooper Flagg inside Duke. He's going to be awesome. He's going to be amazing. Yeah. I can talk about Cooper Flagg all the time because, you know what, Cooper Flagg, I mean, I'd love for him to come to Green Bay, but he ain't coming, Dan.
He's not. Wait, what kind of NIL budget do you have?
Good. Good. Needs to get better. But good. I mean, you know, I am drinking my liquid death for a reason. And you know, like, we're going to try and use I think it works great together. I think they're mutual promotional tools, right? Everyone at Fox Sports Radio has been awesome. And now we have the only national radio show host who's also a Division I men's head college basketball coach. I think that works. And then for Green Bay, it works as a promotional tool, even without mentioning. I don't have to talk ever about Green Bay. I can talk about the Packers all that I want. But I think you bring in some of our national sponsors. There's people that that I have great relationships with nationally, people that want to be a part of this and what we're doing. And then, of course, going out in the community and anybody who Green Bay has touched at any point in time in their life, we want you to be around, but we also want to help raise money because no one's ever done it without players. And it doesn't mean you can just throw a bunch of money at kids and they're going to come and you're going to win. You don't want that. You want guys invested in being here for long term. But yeah, our NIL budget is good and it's going to get great. And we're going to go do all the right things it takes to raise the money and find the right players that will earn that money, not just be given that money.
Would you like for me to be a shooting coach for you?
I'm actually a really good shooting coach because I can tell you what not to do when you're working with kids. But there are rumors of your eligibility. That's what I want to know.
I have 2 years left.
Do you get a COVID year?
Hell yeah, I'll take one.
I mean, because we're in the same league as Oakland, and some of their guys
wow.
they're not your age, but they're closer to Seton's age.
You know what? Wisconsin Stevens Point has reached out, maybe if I'd like to help them. So I said I got to talk to you first. But if you're passing up,
listen. Here's the thing, Dan. If you have NIL, if you'd like to donate to our collective, hell, you can start in the first game if you have eligibility. Matter of fact, you can coach and start. You can be player coach.
If I pay you $100,000,
yes,
I get to start the first game of your college coaching career.
Sure. If you have eligibility, absolutely. Done. Why not?
Now, not just start. I need to go Brunson on you.
You can play the whole game?
Yes.
You're going to have to dig a little deeper.
I'm going to try.
I know how much you make.
I'm going to try. I'm going to try to play the whole game.
I mean, listen, Dan, I'm serious. If you really give, it ain't going to matter. We'll play a zone. I hate zone. We'll play a zone.
Thank you.
We'll put 4 dudes around you. You'll be fine. You just stay in the corner, Dan,
okay.
And we'll find you. We'll be open.
Do you even know your coaching style?
Yes, I coach, Dan.
I know.
I've coached
I'm talking college.
Games.
I'm talking college.
Yeah, basketball.
AAU is different than.
AAU is closer to college now than it's ever been in the past. Obviously, it's more in depth in terms of the coaching, the scouting, whatever. But in terms of how you got to recruit and player procurement, it's not more like AAU than it is like the NBA, right? Because the NBA you have long-term guaranteed contracts. The AAU, you don't know you might be thinking a kid's going to play for you and he's in layup lines with the other team, right? So, do I know my coaching style? Yes. Would you like to hear it?
Is it fun?
Care?
I just want to know if it's going to be fun. Because if it's not,
no, it's going to be tedious and boring.
No, you're going to play defense. You're going to play defense, and make the extra pat. No,
you have to play. You have to play defense, but you can't play defense just to play offense, right? Some teams do that the old way. Look, you're going to win based upon do you defend, do you rebound, do you not turn the basketball over? But I'm a 5-out guy, okay, and a lot my infatuation with European basketball. NBA basketball. Remember this year I got a chance to work with Mike Boynton at Oklahoma State as a consultant. I learned so much from him, but we talked philosophically about offense specifically. Offense is my specialty. My lead assistant will be my defensive coordinator. But yeah, we play open. I don't like post-ups. Post-ups are a passing position, or you dribble up into an uphill handoff. That ball's got to move side to side with purposeful movement. But it's the new wave 2024. You play 5
St. Norbert's is
similar to
watching right now. St. Norbert's is watching this interview, and they now know your style. Just letting you know.
Dan, I'm going to tell you something that Phil Martelli told me when I was a finalist for a different job. So Phil Martelli, the famous St. Joe's
said,
coach.
"Don't shoot, Doug."
Everybody said, "Don't shoot." Find shooters and give them the ball. That was no. He said, "Hey, when you get there." And you have your summer practices, play a ton of one-on-one. I was like, one-on-one? He's like, yeah, because you know what? All the offense is great. All the defense is great. But at the end of games, you win or you lose because do you have a guy who can get you a bucket? And do you have a guy who can stop them from getting a bucket? And that's the only way you know. And look, my non-negotiables are you got to be committed, you got to be tough, and you got to be competitive. Right. That's how you find out if kids are competitive is if everybody around is standing around in the gym and we're watching 2 guys play one-on-one, you find out who's got the lower intestinal fortitude to get it done. What's my coaching style? Man, I coach people the way I want to be coached. I'm firm but fair. We're going to play fast. And when we're not playing basketball, when we're not in the gym, like, we're human beings. If you're not playing well, I'm not going to not look at you when you're in town. I'm not going to avoid you. Like, you're still basically my adopted son. Like, that's the relationship you have to have. It is all about getting kids to believe, not just in themselves, but believe that you believe in them. That's the big thing, because they're all precocious, basically teenagers. They all have insecurities, and they all come out when they're not playing well. So you got to, you got to coach confidence as much as anything else. And you got to coach unselfishness. And unselfishness can rear its head in a million different ways. Todd is unselfish. Seton is unselfish. You're selfish. We know how that works. You want to take all the shots. It works collectively within your group.
Rick Pitino just sent out a tweet that Doug is going to kill it at Green Bay. His dad was a terrific coach. Doug really knows the game. Now go get a strong name, image, and likeness. All right.
How awesome is that?
That's great.
Awesome.
Are you going to schedule him?
Yeah. I can take a couple whoopings early. Year one, we can take whoopings.
Are you wearing a tracksuit on the sidelines, or are you going to go suit?
It's a great question. I'm gonna vary it. I mean, I like that we've gone to zip up. The zip ups.
Yeah.
Don't
go Bob Huggins. Don't mock turtleneck.
Well, Bob kind of let himself go a little bit, but he's a hell of a. How about that though? Rick Pitino, like, unprompted tweets at me. Like, that's amazing. That's remarkable. Like,
he's
Coach
just
Izzo,
looking for a W. He's looking for an easy W is what he's looking for.
Fine. Call me, okay? I want half the money to the program, half the money to the collective. Let's go. That helps my NIL. Let's go play some basketball.
Well, Gino Auriemma just reached out. Here. Yeah, Gino Auriemma just reached out, said he wants a piece of the Phoenix.
We'll do that. Why not?
Home and home?
Sure. We'll do 2 for 1. We're realistic here. We know where we sit.
I'm happy for you. Good luck with it. And
hey, can you do me a favor?
I just did. I gave you 15 minutes so you could recruit.
No, can you come to a game?
Well, you going to be nearby?
Sure. I'm not going to play UConn. I'll play Fairfield.
I'm big
in Westport. Remember, I lived in Westport.
I know.
For 3 years.
Oh, they still talk about you. If you play Fairfield or Sacred Heart, I will be there.
Okay. Fairfield's got beautiful new place.
I'm going to be in the layup line.
Done.
I'm going Drake.
Remember, checks got to clear first.
Oh, no, I'm not playing. I'm just going to be in the layup line. That doesn't cost me that
layup
much.
Line's not free.
Congrats.
Thanks. You're the best.
That's Doug Gottlieb. I got to call him Coach now. Coach Gottlieb. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. Guess the team that Hard Knocks is embracing this year.